What's going on, guys? This is Experienced Optimist, and today I want to talk to you about the monk lifestyle. People seem to be confused as to the benefits of the monk lifestyle, so I made this video titled Understanding the Monk Lifestyle so that those may get a better understanding of the differences between the blue-pilled man, the so-called red-pilled man, and the monk. Monk, in my view, being the lifestyle that is the most advantageous. Like I've said in the past, all women are shady friends, meaning all women have the traits of fair-weather friends. They are there when times are good and gone when times get tough. Among other characteristics women are prone to are challenging you with shit tests, emotional manipulation, passive-aggressive behavior, etc. So let's replace the woman you're pursuing with a shady friend by the name of Brian. Brian, from what you can tell, is a true friend. He has been there through sticky situations and inspires you to pursue your dreams. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you want to be a DJ. Brian always appears to be in your corner, encouraging you and confronting others that do not believe in your vision. From all accounts, Brian appears to be your best friend. However, deep inside, Brian harbors resentment for your aspirations and envies your talent. Unbeknownst to you, Brian also sells drugs on the side and is involved with some shady dealings with some unscrupulous individuals. The blue pill man is the man that unwittingly thinks of Brian as a true companion and accordingly is addicted to the validation he receives from Brian. The blue-pilled man does not see himself as someone that can accomplish his goals without Brian, as he would not know what to do without him. There is a quote that states, "Is happiness a sort of blissful state of mind, or just a kind of surreal propensity? It may be hard to recognize its very nature if we remain guilelessly confined in a state of woeful unawareness, or in a no man's land of emotions. In their dogged and obstinate quest for the zenith of happiness, many forget to take pleasure in the small things of every day, and thus become disgruntled and depressed instead, which leads them to a mire of gloom." Unquote. And thus the blue pill man carries on befriending Brian until Brian's drug dealing, resentment, and contempt for the blue-pilled man comes to a head as Brian, the man you thought was your friend, sets out to ruin your life. The blue-pilled man then cries out to say, "Why did someone not warn me before I was ruined by such a wretch, a scoundrel, a callous leech of a man?" And so was the fate of the blue-pilled man. Without the knowledge to discern what ills may come his way, in due time he will be ruined. Still, despite his demise, it is easy to understand and have compassion for the blue-pilled man, because he did not know any better. This is not true, however, for the so-called red-pilled man. What we now see on YouTube is a proliferation of red-pill men that know the dangers of interacting with women, aka the shady friend named Brian, but continue to do so anyway. This does not make any sense. If one were to take a critical look, Brian is the friend that your parents warned you about and should be avoided at all costs. Your parents warned you Brian was jealous of you. They told you he sells drugs and that he is involved with shady dealings around town. You yourself even witnessed similar actions from past shady friends. Nevertheless, despite being armed with this red pill knowledge and numerous warnings from others, you incorrectly surmise that all that would be required is that you become more alpha when dealing with Brian. You will set boundaries for him. No selling drugs in the house after 5 p.m., for example. You will monitor the people he hangs out with. You will dominate him psychologically, so he never gets a chance to act on his covetous feelings. And so these actions work for a time until Brian adapts to your actions, and the game that you cannot win goes on until it plays out to its inevitable conclusion. You lose. And so is the plight of the so-called red-pilled man. Like the blue-pill man, the red-pill man is still addicted to Brian's validation. The red-pill man is still afraid to be alone. The red-pill man is still unsure of himself. Armed with hubris, the so-called red-pill man wants what does not serve him. He runs himself ragged in a trap of his own making. He ignores the truth being that Brian will eventually betray him. It was only a matter of time. Deep red pill understanding does not exonerate the red pill man of the fact that Brian's character is deeply flawed. But still the red pill man does not learn from his mistake. Addicted to false love and unable to face loneliness, the red pill man will keep searching, hoping to subdue the next Brian he encounters, and the one after the next, until he cements himself as a slave to the system. Now let's put this in perspective. As a red pill man, you can see the negative traits of the people around you. You know that these people do not mean you well. You know that these people will most likely betray you, and still, you purposely try to befriend them. This type of thinking is madness. Nonetheless, this is the type of thinking that the so-called red pill aware man adopts and affirms almost daily. This does not seem logical. John Gower explained the self-deception of the so-called red pill man quite eloquently when he states, "There is no deception on the part of the woman. Where a man bewilders himself, if he deludes his own wits, I can certainly acquit the woman. Whatever man allows his mind to dwell upon the imprint, his imagination foolishly taken of women, is fanning the flames within himself. And since the woman knows nothing about it, she is not to blame. For if a man incites himself to drown and will not restrain himself, it is not the water's fault." Unquote. Thus the so-called red pill man, mired in a world of self-delusion, has the unmitigated gall to turn his nose up at the monk, a man that does not hold any ill will towards the so-called red pill man, and certainly does not envy his plight. Which leads me to analyze the monk, but to do so I would prefer to use the term prudent man. Like the previous blue pill man who was blissfully unaware of his situation, and the so-called red pill man who cannot conquer himself, the prudent man is indeed warned of associating with Brian, the shady friend. The prudent man takes in all the information and comes to a better understanding of the world and the people around him. He witnesses the men that did not listen, whose lives were shattered by associating with people like Brian. Brian being a euphemism for the characteristics of women. The prudent man chooses not to involve himself with such individuals for his own safety and sanity. Hence, the prudent man does not try to bargain with shady people, trading his integrity for approval and social currency. There is a quote that states, "A person whom fails to conquer oneself will always live in fear and experiences life filled with conflict and emotional storms. Fearfulness prevents a person from perceiving reality and ever knowing oneself. Unable to cope with fear and uncertainty, a person resorts to denial, repression, compromise, and hides behind the mask of a false self." Unquote. Among these three individuals, the monk, aka the prudent man, is the most judicious and analytical. The prudent man asks himself a simple question: why would I involve myself with any human being that has shown a propensity to limit the potential of the people around them? Thus, the prudent man avoids such individuals and goes on a journey towards self-acceptance, virtue, and wisdom. Kilroy J. Oster wrote, "The sun is setting on whom I was in order that I can become the type of person that I wish to be. The beauty of twilight is that it enhances everything. Personal change requires the courage to let go of the personal security and venture into new worlds. I look forward to exploring personal thoughts and behaviors and probing community customs and rituals. I hope to meet new people, expand knowledge of the world, eclipse my egotistical way of living, and evolve a lifestyle that is in sync with the natural, rhythmic flow of that governs all life forms that inhabit this crusty rock and the watery worlds of rivers, seas, and oceans. I resolve to accept witnessing the splendor of nature as sufficient to satisfy all my wants and desires, while also seeking to increase self-control and attempt to sprinkle kindness upon the doorsteps leading to other people's hearts." Unquote. But if you like this video, like, subscribe, support other MGTOW channels, and I will talk to you later.